Hey, and welcome to Every Note Counts. Today we're going to be looking at some of my favorite blues licks. Most of them are pretty easy, but one of them is a little Stevie Ray Vaughan-ish, and so it's a bit more complicated. But before we get into those blues licks, shameless plug! Below this video, please click like and also click subscribe. And if you'd like to know when I release more videos, go ahead and turn on that notification bell. It takes like 5 seconds. There you go. You can do it. I knew you could do it. Oh, you didn't? I think this YouTube channel is finally starting to gain some traction. Just the other day I was at the grocery store and this guy came up to me and said, "Hey, would you mind telling your kid not to do that?" And I realized he just got cold feet because he recognized me. So I said, "Yes, I'm from Every Note Counts on YouTube, and here's my business card." You think business cards are antiquated? You think it's weird that I gave someone a piece of paper with a URL that they'd have to manually type into their computer? Well, I think it's a more personable experience. Anyone can click on a hyperlink and come to this YouTube channel. It's way more personal to type in a URL by hand. And I'm looking for that bonding experience. This all revolves around the key of A. We will switch between some major and minor riffs, but just for reference, we're starting around this 5th fret. So box 1 of the pentatonic scale will begin at the 5th fret. We'll start at the G string on the 7th fret with a big bend and then choke it out so it doesn't linger, like that. And then pick up the high E string on the 5th fret. This is a great blues lick, and when you're playing slow or just really want to get a lot of soul and passion, grab that 7th fret of the G string and just really milk that bend for all it's worth. It sounds great. It's a good classic blues lick, but what we're going to do is bend it slightly, cut the note short, and then pick up this A here on the high E string of the 5th fret. And then we'll return to the G string at the 7th fret, bend it a little bit, and then return to the tone of the 7th fret. Come down to the 5th fret of the G string. Hit the D string on the 7th fret. And then do a quick hammer on from the 5th fret to the 7th fret of the D string. Altogether, it sounds like this. We're going to repeat that whole phrase again, but instead of landing on the root, we're going to land on the major 3rd. So we're going to do a big bend on the G string again, 7th fret. Then pick up that note on the 5th fret of the E string. And then come back to the G string 7th fret. Give it a little bend and return. Come down to the 5th fret. Down to the D string on the 7th fret. Now this is where it changes from the first lick. We're going to start on the 5th fret of the G string and just do a quick hammer on so that you barely hear that 5th fret note. And we're going to apply vibrato and really let this 6th fret G string ring out. So altogether it sounds like this. Altogether, it sounds like this. By going to the major 3rd of what would be an A chord right here, it changes the idea of the chord that you're hearing inside your head from being just a A7. By laying this major 3rd on top of the chord, it gives a little bit of a different flavor and creates a new context for the ear to hear. As we know, chord playing and lead work need context. Otherwise, it's just like walking into a conversation between two people and having no idea what the original premise of the discussion was. Smells like wet bagels. This next lick is going to begin by sliding down from the 8th fret of the G string, and we repeat that twice. So that's slide down twice from 8 to 7, play the 5th fret, and then the D string, 7th fret. And then we're going to go back up to the G string on the 8th fret and do another slide down to the 5th fret, back to the D string, 7th fret. So it sounds like this. And then we're going to hammer on from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a bend and then pull off. Or you could pluck that note if you'd prefer. So the whole thing sounds like this. For the next lick, we're going to start on the 5th fret of the A string, walk up to the 7th fret, go to the D string on the 5th fret, then go back to the A string, 7th fret, and then we're going to go back to the 5th fret of the D string. And now we're going to do a trill, really quick hammer-on pull-offs between the 5th fret and the 7th fret of the D string. This is going to be the most difficult lick of all of them. We're going to start with a big bend on the G string 7th fret, cut it short, and then hit on the 5th fret the B string and the E string. Then do a pull off from the 8th fret to the 5th fret on the B string. Then we're going to add in this little riff on the high E string. We're going to play the 7th fret and then do a quick hammer-on pull-off from the 5th to the 6th fret of the E string. Then go to the 8th fret of the B string, the 5th fret of the E string, back to the 8th fret of the B string, and then pull off and go down to the 5th fret of the B string. So here's the second half of this fast lick. We're going to bend the G string at the 7th fret again, choke it out, hit the B and E strings on the 5th fret, pull off from the 8th fret B string to the 5th fret B string, little bend on the G string 7th fret, and then hit it back at resting tone on the 7th fret, pull off to the 5th fret, 7th fret to D string, go back to the 5th fret of the G string, back to the 7th fret of the D string, 5th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the D string. For this last lick, we're going to start on the 9th fret of the G string and the 8th fret of the B string. So slide into that. And then either use a double stop here at the G string and the B string on the 7th fret and pull it down to the 5th fret. Or if you'd rather, just use the G string, 7th fret, and pull it down to the 5th fret. And then pick up the D string on the 7th fret. Quick hammer on from the 5th fret to the 6th fret.
Thanks again for watching. I hope you liked these blues licks, and I hope you find a way to tweak them to fit your own style of playing. Until next time, make every note count.